Don't cry out loud, keep it inside. Learn how to hide your feelings. Well, not anymore because Mars is stationed direct, so go on, cough it up. Hello Capricorn, welcome home. Thank you for being here with me. It's always so lovely to see you. How was your holiday? How was your New Year celebrations? Did you get a lot done? Did you make a lot of resolutions that you haven't kept? Did you buy a diary and not fill anything out in it? That's okay. It's all fine. It's all completely fine if that happened. The astrology for the beginning of the year was kind of a bit of a traffic jam. So as much as the calendar says that on the first of the month of the year, we rewrite our lives and we resolve all of the hindrances of the past, the astrology was saying something else. Mars was still retrograde in Gemini, so yanking that chain. Mercury was retrograde in Capricorn, your first house. So as far as the downloads from, your intelligent self and kind of trying to articulate them, no go. It's also really important not to put so much pressure on oneself when everybody else is. That's what astrology is for. You get to focus in on different parts of your life when your good witch tells you to. So on that, let's have a look. I'm going to pull some intuitive tarot too, straight, so I don't forget. That'll be nice to... I miss my cards. I think that's the way my brain works sometimes. I get so involved in one line of thinking or one line of thought or one possibility. I get a bit blindsided. My blinders go up and I get sort of single focused. So it's good to refocus and remember why I started doing this in the first place, which is these cards. Okay. And let's have a look at the chart too. So this new moon in Aquarius, it's happening on the 22nd of January at 7:53 a.m. if you're in the Southern Hemisphere with me. So it will be a morning ritual, which might be really gorgeous. As the sun rises, you can know and love the fact that the moon is there too. And so as we talk and explore further what an Aquarian moon might mean for you, Capricorn, I want you to hold some of these images in your mind at that sunrise. So Aquarius rules for you the second house, which is where we generate wealth. It's where we find the resources to take care of ourselves and pay our way. And so interesting to have Aquarius in this house for you, Capricorn, because the Aquarian sensibility is communal. In the tarot, the major secrets, the Aquarian card is the star. The star has nothing to hide. The star's almost like an extraterrestrial sent to Earth. The star comes here to move the waters of life and love for thirsty humanity. And so I like this principle in relationship to your bank balance, Capricorn. Because for a sign that gets a bad rap for being single-focused and money-oriented, if we look at a chart, if we look at a Capricorn rising chart, then we can see that the second house of just that, of wealth, is spread around, is shared, is put to good use to benefit the community. I hope these principles are ringing true to you. And that's not to say that you are indebted to do so, but it's just a sentiment that I think probably maybe you can align yourself with, in the idea of what I have is what I give. I work very hard to achieve this surrounds, these resources, in order to make other people's lives more pleasurable and useful as well. Yeah, it's really sweet. And it's a really nice way to start the year, I would say. Money manifestation, I tend to shy away from, probably because I'm terrible at it. But I like that this can be related to a Capricorn sensibility. I think that the lunation's in support, in help. It's helped by Venus and Saturn. So Venus is at 23 degrees, Saturn's at 24 degrees of Aquarius. They're in near conjunction. They're almost like having a dance. There's a beautiful pleasure-related symbology of Venus. Love and art and beauty and happiness. Higher spirituality with Venus. In a conjunction with the taskmaster of Saturn, the limits. But who's leading? That's the interesting question. Who's leading here? I wonder if there is things that you can think about in terms of your vocation. The way that you're providing for yourself. I wonder if there are ways that there's expansion there. There's different ideas that you're coming to that, I could invest in this, or I could use this. I had this saved away for that, but maybe I could put it here, and that will create beauty here. Yeah, really simple, gentle, lovely possibilities abound with this lunation. It's nice that it's at a sunrise too. There's a nice freshness. Yeah, we can talk about Mars if you want. We can talk about Mercury if you want too. So Mars in Gemini is your 6th house, which is your daily ritual, your rhythm and your health. So I want to talk gently about that, Capricorn, because it's important. And I don't wish, there's no reason to start worrying if we needn't. But there's Mars energy in the 6th, there's Mars energy in the house of the body, the house of the rhythm. I want to just offer my support and my guidance that it's there's going to be a clearing there in that space for you. I hope that health concerns haven't had you worried. I hope that there hasn't been, combustion in that area for you. If there has, we can look to March to find some relief there. But I will say that this 6th house, health, the body, the ritual of the day, almost maybe we could even look at it as perhaps the daily rhythm might be giving you the shits. That could be another way to read this Mars in the 6th. Perhaps you're sick and tired of waking up, putting on the same friggin' shirt, driving down the same roads, getting to the same office. That could be something that sort of has you up in your mind as well. There could be something to that rhythm, that ritual, that routine that Mars wishes to burn up a bit. I can see a nice coupling occurring in this chart too, Capricorn. So I want to look at your 4th house. It's your root system. It's your ancestry, your home, your sense of home. Yeah, something's coming out in this. There's something's being built or something like that. But what I have here is Jupiter, the great optimist, the one that expands and zooms in on everything that it touches, in an exact conjunction with Juno, which is an asteroid of our galaxy, of which I'll be including more often in these readings and definitely in my natal chart readings. I've been learning a lot over these last months about the significations of the asteroids that were discovered before Neptune and before Pluto on the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. And they are bearers of great signification and great reconciliation with the feminine principle in all of us. We look to these planets and we remember the mythology, remember what the signifiers of these gods brought to the lives of the people of Earth. And so in this way, the asteroids are all emblematic of the feminine principles of those stories. Right now, Juno and Jupiter are in that exact conjunction. Another word for Juno is Hera. Another word for Jupiter is Zeus. So you can see that's a sticky subject, a heightened relationship, quite dramatic, would not recommend to play out in your actual life. But in astrology, when they're in conjunction, that is an absolute harmonic understanding. These two are devoted to one another, and these two, when conjoined, support one another. So this is really nice to have for you in that fourth house, Capricorn, the house of the home and privacy. I hope that there's some sense of energy, there's an energy around you that you feel in that collaborative way is supporting you at the moment. I'm trying to relate the asteroids to the tarot cards, and I think I've come up with something. We can say that Juno might be the queen of water, the queen of cups. So there's that sort of emotional availability, isn't there? There's that intent on emotional connection, reciprocity, commitment. I like this. And this doesn't have to be so literal as you've got a partner or but there's a sense of belonging in your home life. The energies that you're setting up your home with are in support of you, and you're in support of them. That's a nice principle to hang on to. And it's in relationship to this moon. There's a nice sextile, which is a 60-degree difference. It's fire and air, but they're in support of one another between the moon and between Juno and Jupiter. And so how does that relate between your home and the way you earn money, or the way that you accrue abundance? Your relationship to the land, too, I might say, has a lot to do with the second house. Yeah, I've got images of building something, and does not have to bear any signification to you, but that's kind of what I'm feeling. There's something there's an idea, there's something to be built, there's something to be worked upon that will be mutually beneficial, that has a lot to do with pleasure and beauty as well. This is all really nice energy, Capricorn, and a lovely, great, gentle way to start the year. I did skip out on the full moon in Cancer 2 weeks ago. I was recovering from a snotty nose. I was also studying quite hard, reading as much as I can, and I wanted to allow myself a holiday, but I'm also rapidly realizing that I'm mid-process with this stuff, and I don't feel useful unless I'm learning. Anyhow, but I did miss the Cancer full moon, which was an activation of your seventh house, your house of relationship. So I just wanted to touch on that very gently and hope that the upswell of emotion that a Cancer full moon can bring brought with it a feeling of reprieve, release. You know, that the emotions were felt, the emotions rose and moved through. The intuitive tarot I have here for you is the 8 of Cups, the 10 of Wands, and the moon. So it's nice that we brought up that Cancer full moon. I can see it right here. I can see that importance to howl at the moon, because as structured as this reading feels, and as helpful and as supportive, I do feel the emotional tension too. I do feel that there's work to be done in the emotional literacy of yourself. And that's great. That's a really important thing to remember. And that's a principle that will aid the foundations of your home, that will aid your sense of self enough to continue to produce and continue to provide. What's going on here, though? There's a missing cup here. And this individual is on the march. He's up and out, setting off, looking for that missing cup. They're going to come and bring it back. But there's a journey here that I can see. I wonder what is this missing link? I wonder if you can describe that to me, Capricorn. Because we were going down this sort of stable, gentle road. But I'm looking at this redhead here. The reason I say the redhead is because this 10 of Wands imagery is too difficult to ignore. That's an inferno. That's a fire. So is this one. Remember, the journey of the moon, the illumination of the moon clears the path for something to emerge. And we can be cute about it and staid and trained, or we can be wild and free. So in all of this language around structure and these images I keep on getting of some sort of scaffolding, some sort of preparation, some plan, something's going on in that way. Take it if you need it. If it's not resonating, then ignore me. There's something being built, and there's definitely a need for a bit of magical influence to take up some space. And maybe this is what you're setting out for. When I look at the Eight of Cups, I'm always reminded of Pisces energy. Pisces in the first decan can be representative of this Eight of Cups. So for a Capricorn rising, Pisces would be the third house. The third house always reminds me of folk magic and of community, of neighborhood. There's a tie here. Something's coming together. We're looking down the road of a lot of hard work, I think, Capricorn, as you're so thrilled to do. And we're wishing to build something. We're wishing to build some sense of, maybe we're wishing to build some sense of community. Maybe this is what's going on here. If you've been feeling that the time is now to start actioning some of these thoughts you've been having around a safe space and figuring out how you can contribute to that safe space, I would think that this new moon might be a great time to wish for the rest of it. That last little bit that you can't quite click together, you can wish for that. There's so many relationships that I can see. There's a coming together here, a coming together there. There's a lot of gentle conjunctions. I won't bore you with all of them. But what I see here is separate. It's not separation. It's conjunction. That's what I see here. And so in that beautiful Aquarian way, which does talk a lot about, connection, coming together, maybe these principles will help you conceive the next avenue for your work. Yeah, we'll see. Let me know how that was, Capricorn. That's the first reading for the year. There's so much more astrology to talk about. I can't tell you, over the next 3 years, we're going to be experiencing a complete end of an era, an end of a chapter and the beginning of something really fresh and vibrant and beautiful. And I'm going to pepper these readings with as much information as I can about this stuff. There's a great deal of reading that I can suggest to you as well, as far as getting an idea of what we might be looking forward to. I think that it's really important at this time to ram on home that message of hope. Hope is on the horizon. As divisive as everything feels at present, there is going to be multiple moments of unity and of understanding, and we're going to be really practical about it and really ethical and allow the last structures of hierarchy to dissipate in order to enter into a space of true community, true cohabitation with ourselves, the planet, and everything else. Yeah, I was going to throw that last little bit in there. I do have my eye on Pluto, but that's a story for another time. And you know that story well, Capricorn, but there is going to be some movement you can look forward to as the year goes by. That's enough from me. I'm going to speak to you in 2 weeks for the full moon in Leo, and head to imaruby.com, book your birth chart reading with me. If you're a return client, I'd highly recommend a wheel of the year or a year ahead reading. It's a great 2-hour session where I sort of map out the transits of a year in relationship to your birth chart. Also, you can head to buymeacoffee.com and throw some money in the tip jar if you'd like to support my work. I'm always so very grateful for that. Thank you, Capricorn. I love you heaps. I look forward to this year with you. I'll speak to you later. Bye.